Hey, hi all. I wanted to uh, give some brief on my weekend experiment with Codex and what was the motivation and how what was the learning out of it. So from last few weeks, I was continuously hearing thoughts from people on how good Codex is at coding and how it is developing an application at a very rapid speed. I use Codex in my technical work in my office, but I wanted to experiment it with my side project. So I created one project which is we call influencer OS. What was the motivation to create this project? Me and my friend wanted to have one idea that we should create a marketplace for influencers and brands where they will come together and exchange their contacts and uh, create a contract and get a brands will get a better influencer for their campaign based on the requirement. I We had a very brief idea in our mind, so I articulated it more. So I initially thought I'll give directly prompt to the codex, but to articulate thought more, I created one long prompt, which is requirement itself. So I detailed down all the requirements. It helped me to helped me to filter my thoughts as well. And here we can come up with two features. First is the influencer, and second is the brand. Influencer will have separate page, brand will have separate page, and I also added some UI details, mm, and also some flow. At this point of time, I haven't given any prompt or write code command. I was just giving a context to the model, and then I started the coding in a phases. In a first phase, I wanted a Codex to create a project structure, front end, back end, what technologies you want to choose, what database you want to choose, and what are the decision making points. And based on that, we created it. And then, interestingly, I also wanted him to create a theme.md file and principles.md file, project.md file. This will help the prompt to or models to get a knowledge about the current coding principles of the repository and how we should map the theme, because new sessions will create a new ideas and new UI components. So I wanted to have it a consistent. Then I moved to the designing part. So initially I asked Claude to just design a sign in sign out page, and the UI was not that good, but I reiterated with some prompts and make it a fine line good UI, proportionate to the screen and all the stuff, and adding some grading as well. But if you want to have some humanly touch, then I think here we need some human intervention in the future to add because to UI there will always be some human touch and you need to give it. Yeah. And then I started with prompting screens for influencer. Started with influencer. I told Claude to just assume brands are there and design a screen for influencer. All the influencer also include of onboarding journey. If any new influencer needs to be onboarded into the existing system and with the details, and there will be onboarding flow on onboarding page. After that, influencer will be on a home page where they will see various features. Uh, yeah, and then follow up. I design the brand page where there are all the details. So if you go through this, you will get more and more details. But overall, it was good. But one mistake it did is design the project in a monolithic manner. That means the backend, all backend APIs were present in a single file, and which impacted the complexity. Code structure is really good. I haven't touched the code single point of time, so all the complexity is handled by Codex itself. Uh, mm, yeah. To refactor code, I did one interesting thing. After writing a multiple like a couple of prompts, I prompted. would you, it's possible to refactor this code. It seems complex to you. Then Claude start thinking, or the ChatGPT 5 started thinking, yeah, it can be refactored, and then he refactored it. So this is one of the trick I learned from like online, that models are always optimized to think on particular task, how to make that task faster and faster, rather than considering the future scalabilities and all the factor. So as a prompter, you need to always think on how to improve on that. These are my learnings, and I'll give some overview what work well for me. So the smaller number of prompts, detailed prompts like add button, delete button, add a delete button, add a edit button, help to have a context of model at a single feature, and rather than dispersing the context over the multiple features and making some bad decisions while designing it, where it struggle. So it struggle in a UI creation, as I said. If you don't give him a clear motivation, what kind of motivation you have, what kind of idea or what kind of feel you want to create out of app, then it would not be able to create a compile like appealing UI. And that's the example. Uh, what happened? So I told this refactoring thing. Yeah, the I added the prompt that could you please refactor code, and it is able to refactor the code and feedback loop. And what can would we do next time is to keep a feedback loop as short as possible. And what are my interesting take on this? I am quite optimistic that this will replace all of us, and we need to find ways to innovate jobs to a more level, maybe finding some different kind of side income or some kind of stuff. But I'm quite optimistic that the new era will be SaaS for agents. Till now, the SaaS for humans, like Salesforce, Atlassian. In future, there will be a case where there will be SaaS for agents, and I am really looking up to this and maybe building something in the future. But yeah. So before closing, I would like you to show the app and how it look like. So I'll do. I'll log it out. I'll log. There are there are things. Log in as a influencer, logging as a brand, and create workspace. And this is the home page where we have given our ad. Here I'll log in. A.B G dot to Gmail at the rate. Okay. Yeah. So this is the influencer page where it will able to see the current opportunities they have for bidding, and what was the status of a bid they already had. Okay. Um, Keep it this corner. Okay. So uh, what opportunity they have, and that will help them to see and select a feasible uh, feasible customer. Okay. Um, this is the influencer board. Now I'll log it out, and I'll log in as a brand. So this is the brand portal where we will able to see the screen where brand will able to create a campaigns, and there are a lot of fields where they can put out the requirements, type of influencers they want and all. And in future we can add more granularity to it, so notification will be gone, or the fee campaign will be shown to uh, particular influencers only. Yeah. And this is the campaign pipeline, and this is the incoming bids. So that our particular influencer has accepted, like added the bid for $200. So you can accept it or reject it. Here we can see total number of pendings, campaigns, and overview. And one interesting feature I added with the help of Codex is this. if brand wants to see the influencer details, then it can hover over the influencers and he can get a quick view. What is the name of an influencer? What is the followers and all the stuff? And if you see a full profile, then I'm able to see the full profile, what the content the influencer is having and all the stuff. And it is I did with couple of prompts. Initially it was not able to get in a single shot because the this hover card is going inside the table. I need to prompt it to bring it out by manipulating z index, and there are a lot of things. And yeah, the front end experience really helps over here. But yep. So I think in future it will be good if I experiment it more further. How would I add the recommendation system and all? Why? Because at this point of time, the fields are very minimalistic. Yeah. If I added more metadata to influencers, more probably it would have to change at a multiple places and at a brand website, at a influencers page on detail and on profile page. There are multiple points to update, and maybe at that point of time it will struggle it out. So maybe we need to prompt it in that way that there are multiple points where these influencer details are shown. Please divide the task into multiple pieces and then update the individual components. And that is what it is. Thanks for seeing this. This was just experiment I did on weekend, but yeah, really looking out to see your thoughts on this and what we can do in future. Thanks.